Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh.
Here's something that'll blow your mind. People have actually beaten death in the Final Destination franchise, and the new movie Bloodlines just revealed the most terrifying twist yet. We're not just talking about delaying the inevitable anymore. Some characters have genuinely escaped death's grasp forever, and the methods they used will shock you. But here's the kicker. Bloodlines introduces a concept that makes survival infinitely harder because now death isn't just coming for you. It's hunting your entire family tree. The biggest game changer in Bloodlines isn't just another creative death scene. It's the revelation that every single Final Destination movie is connected through bloodlines. That means if your great-grandfather cheated death in 1912, death might be coming for you in 2025. The film reveals that one character from each previous movie is actually descended from survivors of a massive skyscraper fire, creating a generational debt that death is finally collecting on. This isn't random bad luck anymore. It's a calculated vendetta spanning decades. What makes this absolutely terrifying is that death has been playing the long game. While you're worried about avoiding escalators and staying away from highways, death has been systematically eliminating entire family lines. The Campbell family in Bloodlines discovers this the hard way when death starts picking them off one by one, and suddenly every coincidence in their family history starts making sense. But here's what most people miss about death's design. Death doesn't actually kill randomly, and understanding the real rules is your first step to survival. The franchise has always shown us that death follows a specific order based on the original premonition vision. When someone has a premonition and saves people from a disaster, death comes for them in the exact order they would have died in the original catastrophe. But here's the crucial part. Death can skip people under very specific circumstances, and some characters have exploited these loopholes successfully. The most proven method comes from Final Destination 2, where Tony Todd's character William Bloodworth reveals that only new life can defeat death. This isn't just philosophical nonsense. It's literally happened. When Kimberly Corman was pregnant and meant to die, giving birth to her child actually broke death's list and forced it to start over. The film confirms this works because new life creates a massive disruption in death's design that it can't account for. But that's not the only method that's worked. Clear Rivers tried the isolation approach, locking herself in a mental institution where she controlled every variable in her environment. While this delayed death for years, it ultimately failed because isolation only works if you can maintain it forever. The moment you re-enter the world, death's design reactivates. However, there's another method that's proven more effective, taking someone else's place on death's list by saving their life. In several films, characters have temporarily escaped death by intervening in someone else's death. When you save someone who was meant to die, death sometimes counts this as fulfilling part of its design, essentially letting you skip your turn. The key word here is sometimes. Death isn't stupid, and it's learned to anticipate these interventions. But there's a pattern to when it works and when it doesn't.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Come on.
The survivors in Bloodlines who make it to the end figured out something crucial that previous characters missed. Erik Campbell's death scene in the MRI machine is particularly revealing because he wasn't actually a Campbell. His mother has that build tension until the victim panics and makes a fatal mistake. The characters who survive the longest are those who recognize these psychological games and refuse to play along. When you see the signs, the weird coincidences, the near misses, the mounting dread, the moment you start running scared, checking every shadow, and second-guessing and sloppy people walk into perfectly orchestrated death traps. The smartest survivors in the franchise are those who acknowledge the danger but refuse to let paranoia control their actions. They make calculated decisions, they stay calm under pressure. Complexity is death's playground. Simple, direct action is your best defense. But even this isn't enough on its own. Here's the ultimate survival strategy that combines everything we know works. First, you need to understand that survival isn't just about you anymore. If Bloodlines teaches us anything, it's that death thinks generationally. Second, if you're in a position to create new life, that's your strongest protection. Third, stay alert for opportunities to save others, but don't make it your primary strategy. Most importantly, you need to break the psychological cycle. Death's elaborate setups only work if you play along with the building tension. The moment you recognize you're in a Final Destination scenario, you need to radically change your environment and routine. Don't try to predict how death will come for you. That's exactly what it wants. Instead, focus on creating genuine randomness in your life that even death can't account for. The disturbing truth that Bloodlines reveals is that death might be learning from each encounter. The kills in the new film are more sophisticated, more psychologically complex, and harder to predict than ever before. This suggests that death isn't just a force of nature. It's an intelligence that's evolving alongside humanity's attempts to understand it.
You have to realize is that we're all just a mouse that a cat has by the tail. It's all part of death's sadistic design.
But here's what gives me hope. The fact that some people have genuinely escaped suggests that death, for all its power, isn't omnipotent. It has rules, it has limitations, and it can be outmaneuvered by people who understand the game better than it expects them to. The key is recognizing that this isn't just about avoiding death. It's about understanding the deeper forces that shape our reality and learning to work within them rather than against them. Bloodlines might be the most terrifying entry in the franchise yet, but it's also the most hopeful. It shows us that death's design isn't perfect, that survival is possible, and that sometimes the best way to cheat death is to embrace life so fully that not even death can predict what you'll do next. The real question isn't whether you can survive death's design. It's whether you have the courage to live authentically enough to make survival worthwhile. If this video just saved your life from death's design, smash that like button before it's too late. You never know what counts as interfering with fate. Drop a comment telling me which Final Destination death scene would be impossible to survive, and don't forget to subscribe because we're diving into every horror franchise's darkest secrets. Trust me, you'll want to be prepared for what's coming next.